now that's on camera.
Yeah.
So your grandfather was a World War II veteran, and he was in Germany, I'm assuming, when he purchased this 1916 Luger.
Yeah, so this is actually Marie's great-grandfather, so this would be my wife's grandfather. And he was a paratrooper in World War II, and he was able to obtain, it's a 1916 World War I era Luger, and it's something that was very special to him.
And if you don't mind explaining what a paratrooper is, just for folks who don't know.
Yeah, so in the Army, there was two divisions, the 101st and the 82nd. And my grandfather was in the 82nd, and my wife's grandfather, which is who this weapon belonged to, he was part of the 101st. And both of those were on the European front campaign. And what a paratrooper is they could sign up where they actually, essentially parachute down behind enemy lines to kind of scope the area out, locate where the enemy is, and they could relay that information so when the ships came ashore, they knew where to go. So it was a very dangerous position because number one, just coming out of the sky, you've got weapons, guns shooting at you, cannons shooting at you. So good chance you could die there. But if you don't die from the landing, now you've got to go out. You got to find your people who are just scattered out in the woods, and find your people, and then you got to come up with a strategy on what to do next.
Using nothing but call signs and clickers.
Exactly.
In the dead of night. If you've ever seen the TV show Band of Brothers, they bring Stephen Ambrose's book to life.
They do a really good job with it too. It's very realistic. Well, this is just a kind of a user manual kind of thing. So it gives you a brief history on, Luger's actually had various manufacturers. Now this one's, I guess, Erfurt is what this one is, and it actually has a stamp on who produced it. One of the interesting facts, it's got the year at the top, 1916, and there's all these different pieces. So you see the 66 here and here. Here's the serial number. It's hard to see. It's 3466. So every piece has got a 66 stamped on it. And even the clip has one on it.
And this is the original clip.
This one is. This one is not. It's a reproduction, but you can tell just by the finish that it's not.
I've never actually seen it this close before.
This was a prized possession for anybody in World War II, was to get a Luger.
Yeah.
And
this would be like the Japanese samurai sword if you were occupying Japan after the war as an American, and you were able to get a weapon from a feudal family, someone with a samurai ancestor. Bringing that back would be, from what I've seen, the same as having a German Luger coming back from the German theater. So to see this in person means that someone came back with a great prize from Germany. Yeah. And I noticed you had one other item that was inside of your bag of holding over there, the grenade, I think.
Yep. This is, they call it a potato masher. And this is what a German would have used as a hand grenade. So the ones that we kind of use look like a little pineapple, but this is the German version of what a hand grenade was. And they would just throw this, and what they would do is unscrew this, and this is they would pull this, which would get the timer or whatever going, and then they would just throw it to their enemy, and obviously after a certain amount of time it would explode. Now, one interesting piece that my grandfather, he was missing a thumb. So he actually threw, one was thrown, I don't know the specific details, but I do know that in it was in the trench he was at. One of these was thrown, and he threw it out. And when he threw it, it detonated and blew off his thumb. So he was actually, obviously, he received a Purple Heart for that.
That's impressive. It probably saved lives.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Americans had a good reputation during World War II for being expert grenade throwers, and some historians have thought maybe this is because America's pastime was baseball, and if you get really good at throwing a baseball, you could also get pretty good aim at throwing a grenade into a German sniper position somewhere. So, it's really cool to see how German grenades are different from American ones.
Just for clarification, this is just a replica, but this is exactly what it would have looked like. This one is authentic. This is the original holster. We believe, from my understanding from her great-grandfather, this gun was never fired. Now, he fired it, but when he received it. So this must have belonged to someone pretty important to be able to. If you look at it, it's in great condition.
No kidding. For being
considering 1916, so yeah, it would be 104 years old.
I wish all of us would look that good at 104 years old.
It's quite heavy, so you can imagine, and they would pull this back somehow, lift this up to retrieve the weapon.
Okay. It is a beautiful weapon. The Luger is one of the most famous out of World War I or World War II. It's got a strong kick and pretty good aim, from what I understand. So I'll get this handshake on film. Thank you so much for
thank you.
letting us see this up close, and also thank you to the camera woman. Do you mind? Would you like me to? Yeah, there we go.